It's game time. Welcome to the Sports Bant and Prosecco podcast.
Speaking of which, our boy, what's his name?
Mendy.
How you not gonna say that?
Yeah. Well, we were talking about it.
Exactly.
And he's now
11 million.
But do you remember what I was saying to you about the fact that if he had been on remand, I felt that they had all right to not pay him because he can't play for the team.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying that he, at the time when they stopped paying him, he wasn't on remand.
Yeah, but we said that he
We
wasn't.
said that
Yeah,
he wasn't.
yeah.
But my issue is fundamental. I don't want to keep flogging a dead horse. Is even if he was on remand and then it's later found out that the accusations were false, it's still really unfair to
definitely.
lose your money for something that you couldn't control.
They've got to give him what, 11 million?
Yep.
That's a lot of money, you know.
That's a lot of money.
is.
They would have been better off letting him go rather than like
Buying out his
Yeah,
contract.
yeah.
Just buying out his contract.
Yeah, because it's all about being in the country. And his thing, you let him go now anyway.
Because if he's done them for, if he's won for 11 million, that's 11 million, but without the interest. Because they will have to pay interest on that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And at 11 million, do you know how much interest there is?
Yeah. He's with another team though. It's not like just.
Well, he went back to France, didn't he?
But I thought he was
Is
like.
he playing?
I thought he was.
I don't know if
clubless.
he's playing, but I know he went back to France.
Okay.
'Cause I thought he was teamless, but I don't think he is. I think he's doing all right. I thought, his life is over. Blah blah blah.
Maybe he's playing in the same team as, what's his name?
He plays for Lorient,
There you go.
League Two.
Oh no, so it's not it's Bordeaux. The cokehead guy.
We actually have to filter you.
Andy Carroll.
We actually have to filter you.
Who's Andy Carroll?
Andy Carroll, remember the guy that used to play for Newcastle and all that, and he's now playing for Bordeaux?
Oh, the tall guy. With the... Oh, is it? Oh.
Imagine playing for City and going to play for Lorient. No shade to Lorient, but imagine.
But like, clearly he's still
But he's still playing,
Yeah, he just
yeah,
wants
so-
to play.
And he thinks he has to eat, he has to make money.
Exactly.
Well, and if that's all he knows.
But it is mad.
But now that he's got his 11 million plus interest, probably.
Yeah, but also it's not like with that young boy who beat his girlfriend. I can't remember his name. Greenwood.
Yeah.
Well, we all saw what he did. Like with Mendy, you've actually technically done nothing wrong. So I don't see why another team, if they think he's a star.
No, but I suppose
There's no dirt
I
around
suppose
him.
the problem is when you're an elite footballer, when
Not
you're
playing for that
at
long.
that pinnacle, right? If you ain't played ball and you've not been training,
And
can
he's
you get
30.
back to that elite
Yeah.
level?
Yeah, and he's
that's
30.
the age.
And he's 30.
Yeah.
So.
That's the thing, though. It's
Yeah.
the eliteness where everything is really primed to being that elite footballer.
Do you know what though?
So if you're not training and you're not
Yeah.
able to do all of that, then can you be at that level ever again?
But you know as well, I feel like you got to have a really imagine wrongly accusing somebody of rape. Like you've got to be able to. How do you look at yourself?
No, but isn't that the mentality of those that accuse people when they know they haven't done it?
That's what I mean.
Like
that's
me and
mad.
you, we wouldn't understand that because
The guilt
I
would
could
get
not-
me.
I could not.
The guilt would get me.
Exactly.
I could not sit here and say, right, I'm gonna make a plan and I'm gonna accuse that person of doing this to me.
And
because
how
I
do
wanna
you
get paid.
sustain
I
the
couldn't
line?
do that.
Exactly.
How do you sustain the line?
And
And to actually go to court and stand up in a court of
And
law,
and you got to do a lot. You
Yeah.
can't just say yeah. You got to
You
cry.
gotta
You got to do
say-
and you've got to
Yeah.
say what happened.
every time somebody asks you, next, okay, we're going to adjourn this, so you better come back tomorrow. And like,
Just knowing
I
you're
couldn't.
ruining someone. Or worse, imagine if you'd got found guilty.
Oh.
Well, you know what? I mean, I don't know, but
And it's something so
you know,
heinous.
there is a saying, isn't there? Vengeance is a dish best served cold.
Yeah.
And the thing
And
is
if
what?
he did something to upset her, I'm not saying that he did that.
He don't
but
deserve that, though.
If he did, then maybe she said, you know what, I'm gonna have to fix a plan
get
for
you.
this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, I get that. But
I'm not
still
saying it's
wrong.
right, I'm just
yeah,
saying-
still, it's a bit mad still. Like,
Like she destroyed him.
destroyed.
Or
You-
they,
and then you
because there's
don't
more than
even-
one. Remember, there was more than
Yeah,
one.
then there was more than
There
one
was,
person.
it was like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Like,
And the thing is,
I
I would almost understand if it was in the US, because in the US you don't have to take someone to court. You could just
sue them.
Civil.
Yeah.
you could just
do
sue.
civil.
But you're not getting a payday out of this, darling.
Your whole
You're just
life
ruining
is just,
someone's life.
Yeah. And then, just him. You're in everybody, like, let's say other females are going to come up and say, this happened to me. They're not going to believe you. They, you literally taught the whole rape victims and how they're treated and what the process. It's just, it's.
But
I
then,
don't- yeah.
I suppose
It's also undermining other people's experience.
If I just want to play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
and this is not because, I mean, it's been proven that it wasn't the case, but if I play devil's advocate, she was in his house. Perhaps things happened that she didn't want to happen. Not that he did something that he shouldn't have done. I don't know.
But there's a difference there.
I'm just saying.
But I do think it's a difficult. I do think we're walking in.
Sorry, what are you saying?
What?
I'm
Like
trying
I wanted, as in I didn't say no, so he couldn't have known that I was trying to say no. But because I was in the house, I felt like I had to.
Yeah.
But then you can't call that rape.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I suppose because I don't know the women, so I don't know their experience. I don't know what's pushed them to this point. Do you understand? I'm
We'll
not.
never know.
No,
And
and,
the thing is,
I think that's why we have to be also very, very careful because they are women. They were in his house.
Yeah.
So we don't know their experience. What made them make those complaints?
But then you have to be transparent because sometimes.
And because we also know that a court of law is not necessarily weighted to the female.
Yeah, but also we have to accept that sometimes just because you didn't want it to happen doesn't mean it was rape. And I say that because there's times you go.
That's sketchy.
No, listen to what listen. Let me finish. Let me land the plane. Like when I say I don't want to, because you regret it, doesn't necessarily make it rape.
That's different.
Do you know what I mean?
But we have to be so mindful because there's so many females that feel that they've not been able to say no.
Yeah,
because
agreed.
they've been
And
in
I
a
feel,
place of
but don't you also
vulnerability.
But don't you also feel like sometimes society pushes labels or something? Like you could come home one day and say, "I really didn't want that," and I regret it happening, and someone will tell you, "Right, Virgin, I think you've been assaulted," and now you're running with the narrative that I've been assaulted because compiled with that is you didn't want it and you are regretting it, but you didn't technically say no, and everything you were doing was more or less giving the green light.
I'm gonna again sit in the position of I hear what you're saying. It just makes me quite uncomfortable because I know sometimes you can be in a position where you might feel as much as I didn't want it and I haven't said no, if I feel it's safer to just let it happen because I feel in a position of vulnerability.
Yeah,
and if I say no, you might feel that it could be worse. I'm not. So
But that's still not rape.
Well, if
you don't
someone's taken advantage of someone,
No, but equally, if you like someone, because this is what usually happens is they generally in these situations you do like them. It's just you didn't want to go that far.
but isn't that? And I'm just gonna throw this out there. So someone who's given a hypno,
But that's different.
date rape, but they can't say no.
No, but
you've
altered
taken-
this.
yeah.
You've removed
You've
their
removed
ability to say no.
Okay, so we can agree with that. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I'm talking about.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No,
because
I'm
I know
talking
this is a podcast, so I just
Yeah,
want
but I'm not
to-
even talking about those experiences. I mean, we've all been there where you're like, oh, I don't really like him, but we are sure enough in our. I'm talking about us specifically. I'm not talking about other people now.
Okay.
I know who I am, and then have I had experiences in the past where I'm like, oh, I really regret doing that.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, there is no way the other person could have known that I didn't want it because I didn't outwardly show
No.
that.
And I think that's different.
internalized.
And I think- and I
but it
think-
doesn't detract from how it made me feel.
No. And I think that's different. And
Yeah.
that's something that we, as people, because I guess there's men that feel that way too, have to find it within ourselves to have the confidence to think that we can say, actually, you know what? I'm not really feeling this anymore. I'm just not going to go with the flow.
Yeah, but
And that might be confidence, that might be whatever that might be.
But on the
not
flip
there.
side, it could be a situation of it's happened and it's been able to go, I didn't say no, and there's nothing, and just knowing that there's nothing I did that would have made him aware that I was making all the right noises. I didn't really want to.
No, and I think there's something about, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you go, really?
I don't want to get that.
Man, right. Which I think is different. Because whether it's the bear goggles or whatever.
You're like, I just don't like you that much.
And you're like,
I just don't like you that
shit,
much.
man.
I mean, it was
broke your
yeah, like
heart when the guys used to say you look better in the dark.
literally.
And then it's daylight, and you're like, wow.
And I have a
This is
contend with
regretful.
how do I let him down gently, da 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 da. So I do understand the mixture of emotions, kind of
there's a
thing.
lot.
But equally, I understand. I think for most people, and I'm not going to say for everybody because everybody's different, but for most people, you can still identify the fact that whilst I didn't want it, there's nothing outwardly I showed that individual that would have made them aware that I didn't want it.
And that's something like...
But I don't think everyone has that. Some people would just, I didn't want it, therefore you should have known.
Yeah. There's yeah.
I'm not saying that's for all victims.
No. I'm just saying...
But when you break it down, they'll be like, I didn't want it. You're like, I didn't know. I didn't want it, but I didn't know. Kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I feel like sometimes when someone tells you what you've been through, it convolutes what you think
because
happened.
if you go to your brethren, like I come to you and I say to you, you know what? Fuck me. That was an awful experience. Right? And you're like, oh my God, what happened? And I'm like, and you know what? I woke up in the morning and I really wished I wasn't there. Yeah. And you'll be like, but actually that sounds like you was in a position that you shouldn't have been in.
But equally,
and then you go,
But equally, if you came to me devastated, so we're having a conversation, boom. But if you came to me like, I really regret it, I wish it hadn't, I didn't want it.
And I got a bruise on my neck.
I mean, take that part of it. I'm going to go, I'm going to say that because I'm looking at your...
Taking advantage of.
Yeah, I'm going to say, oh my God, I think you've been taken advantage of. So sometimes it's for you to know, right, was I outwardly?
But that's also sometimes for us, as in us, to know what's right and what's wrong.
What's our limits?
It's for us to know.
But I think that comes with, hopefully, age and maturity. Sometimes when you're younger, you just go along with
or
it.
just a learning. Because actually, how many of us did our mums talk to us about sex? And what to expect and what we should want, desire, how we should be. I didn't have that conversation with my mum.
Never.
Nope.
The day my parents said to me...
So we've been figuring it out as we're rolling along.
And
which has meant we've gone through some good stuff and probably some
on the
stuff
flip
that
side,
we
we're
want to
expecting there's a lot of responsibility placed on men, rightly so, but they're also as inexperienced and as we were at that age too. Do you know what I mean? And they're also not having people have the conversations about consent with them.
No, but also, I say that how many of us, our parents talk to us about sex? How many of our parents talk to the males about sex?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting down and talking to my brother.
Oh, really?
And and said to him, these are the things you do. These are the things you don't do. You remember you got a sister. You remember how you would want your sister to be treated. You remember you got a mother.
So he got what you didn't get.
So, yeah, because I was on levels because I don't want him to be in
Get caught up.
any sort of fragile position. Right? So when he was young, not even now, when he was still a boy, or, you know, a young teenager, I was like, these are the things you do. These are the things you don't do. These are the messages.
Yeah.
Understand the messages. The messages might seem like it's a yes, but you need to, there's layers.
And use your common sense.
And be smart.
I'm going to give you I'm going to give you an example. So my friend was telling me this story about a friend of hers who, she's like, he's a nice guy. He's a good guy. But he had drunk sex with somebody who then reported him to the police the very next day and said that, she's like, this is a guy of integrity, but he was wasted. He's like, I was wasted, but I guarantee you she did not say no. And we're like, but did she definitely say yes kind of thing? And he's like, but we were both drunk. And she's now saying, exactly, but she's now saying, no, I didn't consent. He's like, but you definitely didn't say no. And I almost see both sides of that coin because we're almost expecting him, even though he's paralytic, to watch out for both of them.
It's like, listen, I got to be aware of whether this female says yes or no.
And what does it mean?
Wow. And what does it mean?
And can I actually translate it like paralytic?
Well, paralytic, but then I guess going forward for him, don't get paralytic and have sex with women because it's gonna be so. But that's mad.
Now.
Of course it is.
Now on,
that convoluted. But she's having a conversation with her sons now based on that.
Yeah.
So she's like, do not assume anybody paralytic or drunk can give you consent.
Well, actually, what I would say, given the work that I do, if they don't have capacity
But he didn't.
Right?
Either.
And no, but so when you're explaining to your sons, I can't talk about this
It's scary,
situation, but when you're talking to your sons, your daughters, whatever, if you don't have capacity, if the person you're with is so drunk they do not have capacity, do not go.
But the problem is if you do not have the capacity to make those
And
decisions.
then there might be a
there
question
goes that
about
problem.
whether you need to be controlling
you see it there.
Yeah, but then there's the question is,
Don't get
should you be getting
paralytic.
that drunk?
Yeah, then the question is now, don't get paralytic.
Right. You know, you
Yeah.
need to not be in a position where you can't think.
Yeah, because if you turn around and say, well, I thought she said yes.
Yeah, that's
In court,
That's not going to stand.
that's not going to sink.
Ignorance is no defense.
I was
right?
shit-faced. I thought she said yes.
And right, furthermore, which is a lesson that my mum said to me, and I've always carried it, is know who you're going out with. So even if Tina was to get paralytic and she's out with you,
You come home with me.
Bridging,
No.
that's not happening because I don't think you can think right now.
Let me tell you
and
something.
you can get vexed with me all you want, and we can fall out if you want tonight.
We had
but
one
you're
rule.
coming home
But
with
we
me.
had one rule. We came together.
And we go home
leave
together. All
You
of
can
us.
stand up in a corner,
happen.
lips in that way, all you like. But when I say
But
we
when
go
you
in,
go in, we're all going.
we're all going.
We're all going.
if you like him, get his number, chat him
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah,
we're all
yeah.
going.
Get his number.
But you ain't lying to someone's
I
yard.
don't
No.
think I've ever gone out clubbing with my friends and
Oh.
anyone is left.
In fact,
You cannot.
No,
That's-
there was
that's
one.
not even happened.
I was out with you one time. There was
Don't
one.
worry, I
You know
remember
that
that. I'm not even going to repeat that one. But we're not
I've never
going
seen
there.
that in my life.
No.
I was
But-
like, how you moving? Yeah.
So
And she was getting achy as
it's
well.
just it wasn't even. I've never never gotten paralytic. So, but
Yeah,
none
same.
of that. It's not even a question
Yeah.
of. First, you don't kiss nobody. I never kiss nobody, no club, nowhere. What I've met you,
I
all
don't
that
think,
nonsense.
but, you know, but it does talk to the fact that black women aren't, and I'm going to say black women, we're not given the same kind of room to be as sexually
Thank you.
adventurous and
Yeah.
explore our sexuality in the same way that other ethnic groups, and by other ethnic groups, actually, to be fair, it's not the same for Asians either.
No.
But and I'm trying to tell you why. For instance, I grew up in Essex. And the girls in Essex we'd go raving and they're lip-syncing that boy in the club. They're going home with fellas. They're doing this, they're doing that. And there's no one's judging their reputation. In fact, nobody gives a crap about their body count. It doesn't come up
No.
when you're trying to, no one goes to them, oh, what's your body count? They're like, oh, it's Arthur, Benjamin. They'll read off the name. They don't care. Take me as I am. But I feel like with black women, sometimes it's like, we're like put on this pedestal and you should value yourself and you should do.
I mean, that's probably right. I think when I think about myself, I think the messages I got.
I'm thinking about the community. It's coming from the community.
messages I got from my community, not just my mum,
It's from the community.
but all her brethren. It was like, well, I can't really do that because I'm not allowed. Almost.
But that's the thing. It's
You know?
never been like it's coming from
and then
outside.
my brethren were the same as me. So they're like, what are you doing? Stop it.
Exactly.
What are you doing?
We're looking at you like,
Look at
whoa.
you funny.
If someone's going to come in here,
Whoa.
stop it.
It's been indoctrinated in
Yes,
us
yeah.
to judge
I think-
promiscuity.
I think it's
and I'm going to do that because you're exploring yourself.
And I think it's different now. I think now,
Nah,
and
it's
I
not.
like to hope.
It's not.
No, I don't know.
It's not.
I don't know.
Not in the black community. It's not.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's not as tight as it was when I was growing up.
Listen, the amount of conversations I hear
Because you know
about
what?
what's your
Because
body
I
count,
would
body
be
count,
going-
body
all
count,
that.
body
I
count.
would be
Is she seeing
out-
one of my friends? Is she known someone I know?
But I would be
Yeah.
out raving like when I was younger, and it weren't even the messages from like my mum, so to speak, or my family. Right? But I'd be out with my bedrooms because I used to rave with a lot of men as well, and I wasn't allowed even with them. They'd be like, "No, what are you doing? Who's that man?"
Of course.
So
That's
any
standard.
which way,
Yeah.
it was like the whole thing was like that's.
We have been conditioned to judge ourselves and each other, and so it's like a perpetuating cycle. So like if a girl's going out, she's seeing this boy, that boy, someone's like, well, she's a scared, oh, she's this, oh, she's that.
Exactly.
da-da-da.
And actually,
Like that.
But no one judges your little white friend for
No.
doing it.
No, but the thing is that and also for me, I think as long as you have capacity and it's what you want, go free and explore.
That's how it should be. And I realise in hindsight, it's so detrimental because I see so many people of mine and my sister's ages who haven't fully dated They haven't fully explored themselves and dated, and now they don't know how to ask for what they want in relationships. They don't know because they haven't. Whereas their counterparts are married and with their accountants and this, that, and the third, because they've explored themselves. And because they've explored themselves, they're able to say what they want, what they don't want so clearly, kind of thing. And more times than not, they found what they wanted younger. As well, but because they got to, you should date. You should be able to date and not being. Put it this way. Why do you think there's so many relationships in, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen in other communities, but it does happen in our community a lot, where a young girl, 19, will get with a fella and then struggle love. Because she's been conditioned to stay with this one person, and he's going to cheat on her. I think she's struggling.
But there's also something about how you view yourself as well. So I was always someone that felt that I was so nice that I could get anyone. Whether it's true or not, I just had this internal thing of dump you.
But I feel like you were an exception.
Possibly.
No, genuinely speaking, even for your time, I feel like you were an exception. Your liberality, even for your time.
Offline, if I told you.
Yeah, I've heard. You've given me a gist. And so I feel like you were the exception.
I was,
me, had I known you when we were 18, I would have said, girls are scared, girls loose. But you're not. Those things aren't, those labels are wrong.
No, I was just, I had the confidence to do what I wanted to do.
And so did everybody else.
And I also thought that I wouldn't say that I felt that I was nice, like beautiful nice, but I had an arrogance. But it wasn't because I thought that I was really good looking. It's just that I felt like...
I believe in my sauce.
She was cooking the right
and the thing is, that kind of arrogance can be attractive to people. So even if they don't necessarily think that you're really pretty, there's something that draws them in because you have this arrogance of you walk a certain way, you know, whether you're strut or whatever. And I had that arrogance. I was a very arrogant late teens.
But I was extremely arrogant too. And my mum inflated my ego. She was like, you're beautiful, you're this, you're an empress, you're a goddess, and everybody gets to worship. But I had the opposite thing. I was like, y'all can't talk to me. I got to keep my value. It was very much, do you know what I mean, kind of thing. And I was lucky, but I'm the exception to that particular rule. But there's a lot of people.
Well, I was just running around in circles.
Yeah, but my point was, let's be honest, I met my husband at 20. And because of that, I demanded he make me his girlfriend.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas really and truly, between the ages of 20, 24, 25, I should have been dating. Yeah. I should have had fun. I should have explored myself. I should have done, do you know what I mean? I should have, because I've been lucky, but some people, now they got to do struggle love. Get cheated on, because the boy's still going out and exploring himself. Yeah. And you're over here in the corner struggling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's why a lot of black women, before they get to the happy place, they've struggled.
Yeah.
Or at least the girls in Essex, whilst they were getting cheated on, they were cheating. They were living their best life. They were living, and they still got wifed. So this whole, your value didn't, no, they still got wifed.
Yeah.
So your value shouldn't be in your pom-pom. Like,
boom. Where should your
there
value
go?
In who you are, you as a person, not
Exactly.
Your value should be in your soul.
And I
your
think,
heart.
you see, I think for me, everybody always thought, oh, she must be a celeb because I was always just like you with guys. I always had male friends because I was not a girl, you know, running up now. So I think even my parents were shocked. Like, I think for them it's like, oh, she's gone here. Oh, she's playing basketball. Oh, she's there. She's playing. It was always with boys. So when I had my child at 32, I think they probably thought I was probably going to have. Like with, you know, but I think even for them now, it's like, wow, for what we thought and the things that we were hearing from like people, oh my gosh, we saw your daughter there, we saw your daughter there, we saw your daughter there. But, you know, the things that they were giving them or instilling in their brains and whatever is thinking, she's just out there just ramping. Hell no, I could not stand boys in that sense.
Obviously taking TT out of the equation because we're not talking about specifically about her. But would you, if you had a daughter who was exactly like you when you were younger, lots of guy friends, would you have been concerned?
Yeah.
That's interesting because I had lots of guy friends and I can recall my mum coming home and just a bag of man in my house.
Oh, God.
And I'm just sat there, just beaming, right? And my mum would always say to me, at least I know who your friends are,
Yeah.
right? And if my daughter felt comfortable enough to bring
The man.
all her male friends there, I'd be completely happy.
Because she's doing it in your face.
But you see, I think that I would be comfortable with.
Because she's doing it in your
Yeah.
face.
If she's doing it in
They
my
were-
face.
they were
But
all-
don't do it
they were all
behind
there.
me.
2 hours in the morning.
And but her doing it in your face is almost like saying the innocence of what am I doing wrong?
Exactly.
It's my friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. They were my brethren. They were my brethren. Anybody that I was dating
Probably were come to the house. Yeah, yeah.
You get me? Right. So these were just my brethren.
No, I
And
wasn't
there were brethren
allowed.
who I'd rave with.
Yeah.
And there were brethren who I'd go out to have something to eat. They had my back.
I remember going to Trocadero with 15 men. Yeah.
When
Clubbing.
Trocadero existed.
Yes,
it's
mate.
no longer
I was
there
the
now.
only one, but my boyfriend was part of the 15. And they let me in first. And the guys were out. So I'm thinking, 20 minutes, these guys are not in. 30 minutes. They were fighting outside. And I'm in the rain, waving it away. They're fighting outside with some other blokes. I had to come out. What were you doing? I said, I was having a... Why are you not spoiling my night, man? I was in there enjoying. But that was the kind of person I am. Or I was. And to like Titi, if she was like me, I would love that. But I wish we weren't allowed to have like boys in the home. I think my father only ever saw my first boyfriend, even when I took him to my home, I think I must have been like 25, 26. And he couldn't even come in the house.
Damn.
It was a Sunday. They just come in from church. We're standing outside the door. My
That's
dad
the
just
thing.
walked
It's
in.
the church man.
Yeah.
And the
Wow.
church.
No, he wasn't even a church man. He pretended he was a church man. He wasn't like that. He come in, walked in. Dad just walked, closed the door. I'm like, oh God, I'm sorry. Just wait. Oh, now you're bringing men home. Dad, I don't live with you.
25, 26.
Yeah. I don't live here. I'm a whole grown woman. I pay my bills. I do everything. Da, 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 and you're still talking to me like a child. My mom just said, don't worry. Don't worry about it. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, let's go.
Do you know what? It's so different now because
Mate.
I've had this conversation with my daughter. Like literally, I said no dating until you finish your GCSEs. I just need your
Is
mind.
that what you said?
Well, yeah. So I told
That's what I
her
told
So when
Titi
did
as
you
well, yeah.
first start dating, please?
properly
After your GCSEs?
when I went to uni.
Oh, that's why you can say it.
Yeah, and no, but
Fair enough,
take
fair
me
enough.
out of it. That's because my mum had like almost shamed and shocked me into.
Not dating.
And yes,
Yeah.
quite frankly. But for me, I'm like I've always said to them, and before they started secondary school, I said, "You're not allowed to date, and you're not allowed to date because you are not emotionally mature enough
Don't
to
get
date."
it, girl.
I know she doesn't know what I'm saying. I know she doesn't understand what I'm saying, or she didn't. I know she does now. And you cry when Sienna wears your sock. You're not emotionally mature enough, kind of thing,
Yeah.
to deal with the ins and outs of. You're gonna end up doing something.
But also, though, I think there is something in that. Like, when I was growing up, I was very old. I was treated,
I think we were.
Right, I was going to school by myself at very young. I was looking after my brother at very young. So we were much more mature.
Yeah.
My
And
daughter,
street smart.
Yeah.
that have that level of maturity because not saying that I was treated in any way differently. Life is just different then.
I also feel like we think we were more emotionally mature.
No, I'm not saying
Oh, definitely
emotionally
not.
Yeah, we
mature.
think-
I think I was more mature, not
smart.
necessarily emotionally
Yeah,
mature.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
a difference between maturity in terms of your chores,
Yeah,
in terms
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
looking after my
But
brother that was
emotional
7 years younger than me.
maturity, yeah.
Emotionally, I think that's something
The sheer
different.
fact that I can look back at every single one of my relationships and now see that they were infatuations and I wasn't technically in love lets me know I wasn't emotionally mature.
No, but
I used to leave men like, if I break
No,
up with
but
somebody,
that's-
I'm breaking
but I
up and I
think
say,
that's-
gone,
but
bye.
that's the thing, though.
And that was it. Yeah.
I took pride.
But I was obsessed.
in
I was
never-
obsessed.
I took pride.
When I was obsessed, I was obsessed.
No, but this is the thing. So I took pride in no one ever dumping me.
Same.
Me doing all the dumping, and I dumped loads and loads and loads.
No, but my point was, I remember I would like
But that may
someone
be
so
also
much.
And- but
emotional
then-
immaturity.
Bye. Yeah.
But that's exactly what it is.
That's what it is.
I
Because
would
we're an
like-
emotionally
Yeah.
thing. It's
I remember looking at the phone and am I gonna like him? I like him. There's one thing wrong.
Yeah.
But I thought it was enough.
Well, I never,
At the time, exactly.
It's only in hindsight, I was like, that was an infatuation.
That was infatuation, yeah,
That's
for
not
sure.
love. I
Yeah.
didn't know love until I met my husband. I was 20 by then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the Nala thing. I've said at 16, and there's two faults. She doesn't listen to the podcast, so I'm fine to say it. But I said to her, you can start dating when you finish your GCSE. So that's 16.
16.
That's when you go to college. But that's twofold. It's still kind of me faking control, because the bottom line is, once she hits 16,
She's got to do what she
I
wants.
can't stop her.
She's got to do what she wants.
And what will happen is she will hide it.
Yeah, and that's the problem.
And you hide it.
And that's
So-
what you don't want.
Exactly. So by me saying I'm giving you my permission, technically she don't realise that I can't stop
You
it.
can't. Yeah.
But I give you my permission. She's not like, okay, cool. So she's engaged me. I'm hoping down the line I'll be able to put her on game.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not calling you. Let me tell you something now, yeah? And on that light, she will call you. Oh, well, he ain't responding. I see that nigga when he comes to this house. He's always got his phone in his hand. He's playing you, G.
Yeah.
You need to,
You need
Daddy,
to
you need to do
yeah.
this. You need to do that. I want us to be able to. I'm like, you see how your daddy treats me? That's how someone
That's
should treat
what
you.
you treat you.
I want to be able to have them
what they
conversations.
see, though, I think, is what's in the home. So, like,
Yeah,
when
but
I
equally,
talk to...
we think about it. When you was that age,
Were
who
you
was
really-
putting you? But who
Your
was putting
little
you in
friend.
game? Your little friends,
Your
then.
little friends.
Who know
Yeah,
nothing
no,
to.
nothing.
But also,
exactly.
I know what I saw in home. And what I saw in home probably wasn't...
Yeah, it wasn't as
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but navigating
Whereas,
the actual.
whereas I
dating.
could say to my daughter, you see love.
Yeah,
You know what love is.
yeah.
Right? You see...
Which is
every single
great,
day
and we
play
love
out,
to hope.
Right? You see... So, my hope is...
Yeah.
That
We can only live
what
on hope.
she
Yeah.
sees
We can
is
only
what
live
she
on hope.
wants, right?
Yeah.
She sees the communication. She
But even
sees
helping her
the-
identify what she's feeling. Like, I'm in love.
But I
Bitch,
also-
no, you're not.
But I also,
No, you nuts.
but I also understand, and when we have our conversations, and I say to her, I now know at your age, I cannot tell you what to do. You will do what you want, right? And
You can
that's
only give
all.
her
All I'm going to
little
say is,
nudge.
in my simple advice, I think this is kind of what you should be thinking about, what you should be judging it against, blah, 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 right? You see how I treat your mum. That is what you should want for yourself.
Absolutely.
A smidgen,
Absolutely.
right? But you would do what you want, right? And I'll always obviously be here to...
This is why you have to stay
whatever.
close to your
But I
kids.
recognise
Yo,
you are
scary.
growing and you are
Yeah.
your
No, but
own
you
person.
do, and I'll tell
Yeah.
you why. Because I had this little boy came to my house about 2 years ago when Nala was in year 8, I believe. This little boy, Dominic, was in Trinidad. This boy, it let me know, this boy was so sprung he lost his common sense. So him and another little boy are walking past, and our house is kind of bait. You know, like everyone knows where we live because of the school. Da 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 da. You just know. So the secondary school, this little boy in his bedroom has to be like, oh my god, that's Nala's house, and he likes Nala, innit? So the bedroom knocks on the door. The little boy runs. Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
No, idiot. I open the door. I see this other little boy, the cocky brethren. He's not the one that likes Nala. The other one's run off, innit?
Yeah.
So I'm like, who's this? He's like, my name's da-da-da. I'm like, okay, cool. Then I see the other boy peeping from behind the car.
Oh,
I said,
bless
"Come-"
him.
No. I said, come here, let me chat to you. So Nala's now peeped her head and she's like, fuck, she's embarrassed. Like, she's horrified.
Like, oh my god,
She's horrified.
my mother.
She's horrified.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm true, innit?
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm like, okay, which one of you likes my daughter? And he's like, him, it's him. I'm like, I'm like, all right. I said, you like my daughter, yeah? He's like, it's all right, it's me, she's beautiful. I get it, she's beautiful and she's a nice girl. I get it, she like her, and you like her. He's like, yeah, I like her, she's too young to date.
Remember that, my G.
No, I said she's too young to date, and you're too young to date. Let me tell you something. What if her father or her uncles had opened the door?
Yeah.
Like, you lost your sense because you're too... You actually lost your sense. Imagine Dominic with a Trini accent opening the door.
Mate.
So you lost your... And I said, what would you have done if one of our uncles... Or like, what if the man... Someone had been in the house. What would you have done? You lost your effing mind. Between the two of you knuckleheads, you knocked on someone's door when their parents are in the house. You didn't even text Nala and say, we're coming to check.
Yeah.
Give it a heads up. I mean, you didn't move smart. Anyway, so I was like, she's too young today. You're too young today. I said, in the meantime, what you want to do from the chat to my child is get to know her. Find it. Because right now, you don't know my child. I must know, do you know, I don't really know him a couple of times. So you don't actually know my child. You just like what you see. You don't know my child. You be a bitch. So I'm like, I'll tell you what you do in the next few years, because she ain't allowed it, is you get to know her. You figure out who she is. You become her friend. Then you come see me in a couple more years. Cool. And I said, what would your mum do if some little boy came to the door? He was like, yeah, it's me. So my point is, you've done something that you can't do in your own house. Anyway, fast forward a couple of years later, Nala Snapchat's my Snapchat. So I'm checking her Snapchat, and he's telling her he blatantly likes her, and she doesn't know how to shoot him down.
Engage in that.
Yeah, and just to lock it off.
Lock it off.
Again, emotional maturity.
Yeah.
So he's saying stuff to her like, oh, I didn't like it when Michael made a joke and you smiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to
And the
control me.
tone, and I'm leading this. And now this is the conversation I need to have with my daughter. I'm like, sit down. This is coercive control. He doesn't get to tell you.
Yeah.
You can and can't. You're not his girlfriend. You don't know. She's like, Mummy, I know. But now I'm school, and this is why I don't. This is why I want the transparency, because we can have this conversation, and I can. From 13, you know what coercive control looks like, and I can nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
This is why it's so important to have them. She was embarrassed as fuck, but I didn't give a shit. Kind of thing. Let's have these conversations. Kind of thing. Don't let that boy tell you what you can. And smile up, and he's got to get used to the person he likes smiling in someone's face. That's for life. That's not just for you.
Yeah.
So this is why for me it's so important. I'm gonna be putting it on. I'm like, listen, sit down, because your little friends there are going to put you on game.
Mate.
They're gonna be saying, oh, maybe he does like you.
Yeah.
Maybe he's busy. Don't speak to that one then. Yeah, maybe he's busy.
Because they're the same age as you.
They're all navigating the same thing. Yeah. It's me. I will put you on game. This is how you get them.
I'll put you on lock.
I'll put you on game. I've got you. So what he's saying in his message? Be direct. Say this. Do you know what I mean? Yep. They want to play this.
Or do you want me to do it for you?
That's it.
Because I can surely do it for you, you know, Desmond. And you see, when I do it for you, ain't no one gonna chat to you ever.
Let me tell you how I got your daddy. Let me tell you how I got your daddy.
Yeah. We're gonna play this game. We're gonna play this game.
And it's gonna come across like Nala knows what she's talking about. Nala knows what she wants. Nala's not playing no games. I sat down with my husband the first time we went out. I sat down in the car. I said, "What are we?" I said, "What?" He said the first time. Yes. I said, "What are we?" Now, girls my age don't do that. They're over there waiting to be told. Waiting to. I'm like, no, we're not playing. I'm not going home wondering what we are. What are we? He said, "Your girlfriend." Right.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
I love it.
I can't say that I did that with Wawa. And the first time we went out, I did not say to her, "What are we?"
What are we? You want to be lipsing on me, sir? What are we?
What are we?
Well, there is that.
Yeah, there's that.
I mean,
These
I'm
lips ain't for everybody.
I don't know what's going on. We lips. I don't know what's going on.
No.
No, absolutely not. No. My mama told me who I am.
No.
My mother told me who I am. I know who I am.
So you
there is
now
a cue.
need to know.
Do you want to step out
Yeah.
or step forward?
Which one be it?
All right. But think about it. I had so many dickhead friends in hindsight. The kind of advice they gave me was so stupid. We were all a bunch of knuckleheads.
That's why I said my generation slightly smarter than your generation.
Girls, write this text. Say to him, I'm going to be here on Saturday. No, say to him, do you like
Do
me?
you like me? Yo.
Why one? Why you not picking up my calls? You're busy, yeah? All right.
Later.
And just before we go, predictions for Sunday. Lou?
I'm looking for a draw, I'm not going to lie.
You're looking for a
I'm
draw?
looking for a draw. I'll take a draw.
I'm going to sit with the hope that kills me and go for a win.
You want to win? Yeah, but you can say that. You're in a position that you can say that. I'm not altogether confident.
Okay.
All right, can I put it down?
Yes, you can.
I think Chelsea will beat Arsenal.
I would love that.
I love that because your predictions never come right.
That's okay. On Sunday it will.
So do you predict your team's going to win tomorrow?
Who are we playing?
There you go. She's going to win.
Aston Villa.
She's going to win. Her prediction's right. So sometimes they're all right.
Now, fuck you all, United, West Ham, Liverpool, because we are the Arsenal and we are the best, we are the Arsenal, so fuck all the rest.
You know what I love about that song? It doesn't say Chelsea.
No. United, West Ham, Liverpool, because we are the Arsenal, we are the best, we are the Arsenal, so fuck all the rest.
At least you got a song. Just a shame you don't have a trophy to go with it.
Well, no, we have trophies, but just not recently. We have loads of trophies. We still,
darling.
we
They
are.
are more
Remember,
dust
and
than the dustbin.
Before we go, I would just say we are the only
Please
team
put
that...
Man United properly.
Sorry. Fold it again.
Fold it again, man.
We are the only team...
What does it say? Fan Lives Matter. What does it say?
Man United fan lives here. We are the only team that has a gold Premiership Cup. Good night and see you soon. Because we're undefeated.
No, wait. What the fuck is that?
We are the only team that has a gold Premiership Cup. No other team
What
has
is
it.
a Premiership Cup?
The Premier League.
And gold.
And it's gold.
Is
We're
that
the only team that has
an
it.
unbeaten run?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
It doesn't matter.
No,
We're the only team that has it.
no. How long ago?
Longer than
was
I can
that?
remember.
How many players were played in the Premier Cup at that point?
The Premiership.
Okay, how many people playing? How many teams?
All of them.
Oh,
Same
yeah,
amount.
Same.
Was
So
it
you
same
talk about
format?
the
Same amount.
So you talk about the Thierry Henry
Yeah.
league. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Same round.
How long ago was that?
It was Vieira.
How
Thierry
long
Henry.
ago was
nice to
that?
live with
2000 and... I don't know.
So
2002,
not
2002.
in your daughter's lifetime.
Yeah, but fuck her. She don't like football. She don't like football. It's
Do
fine.
you know what? Has Emmanuel? Because Emmanuel's going to be 30 next year. Has he seen a Premier League? He must have seen. Has he?
He must have seen the.
Well, maybe he was a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must have seen your one, yeah.
Yeah,
You must have
maybe,
seen
maybe.
the unbeatables. Oh, yo, you guys
Undefeatable.
were good. Yeah, whatever.
And
that's it.
I remember when we did that, I said, and my mate who's a Chelsea fan, one of my best brethren who's a Chelsea fan, said to me, Mel, I don't ever think we'll see this again in our
Was it
lifetime.
2023? Sorry, 2003.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And he said to me, I don't think we'll ever see this again in my lifetime. To go complete the whole season unbeaten.
No. And you've not
And if
seen
you
it
think,
yet, have
hard
you?
to do.
and if
hard.
you
It's hard,
think,
mate.
you think at the strength that Man City is,
Yeah.
and they've not been able to do it.
Yeah. That's true, you know.
Do you know what? I do feel like the top of the Premier League is a lot more competitive than it was a few years back. There was a time when it was all Man
Arteta was
United.
saying that today in his press conference, and he was saying actually he feels this season particularly.
It's hard.
Everyone's
It's
very
hard.
Everybody's
Everybody
very
stepped
hard.
up.
Look at
And
Bournemouth.
he was
Bournemouth
almost,
being City. Like, come on.
saying that the fact that we've lost the games that we've lost, he's not overly worried because he feels
Everybody's
going
gonna
to
drop some
He was saying
for
because
sure.
this season
I agree.
is much
Yeah.
more competitive
Agree. Because
than
what, you lost 5 the whole of last season.
No, we didn't lose 5. We lost less than 5 last
Was it
season.
5, babes?
You sure?
It was 5s.
Okay, we did this already. Yes,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
right,
pretty
you're
sure
right,
it's
you're
5.
right.
Yeah, but you lost 5 the whole of last season. You're already on 2 with 10
And
games.
and the season, yeah, but
No, I'm not saying that negative. I'm just that's the straight
That's
but
the
he
how
was saying,
competitive it is.
and he was saying
Yeah.
in his press conference today that he feels when they were trying to poke him about us having a drop off in form, and he was saying, and I think he's right. He said this season is probably one of the most competitive you're going to get. Everybody stepped up, and teams will drop points.
Yeah.
He said the runs aren't going to be like the runs generally where you go 10, 12, 15 games without dropping points. He said that you're going to drop points this season. And a part of me looking at how it started,
Absolutely agree.
outside of Liverpool right now because they're flying, but I feel that Liverpool will drop points.
But even if they're
course, I
flying,
mean,
they're
I think-
still only 2
I would love to
points
think
ahead.
that.
Yeah, and I feel
Because
they
they're
will,
only 2
but they've
points ahead
already
of Forest.
dropped points. Essentially, they're still top.
Yeah.
but they
Yeah,
have
yeah,
dropped
yeah.
points.
No, what I mean is, this time a couple seasons ago, usually the top 2 were like
Up there.
up there,
Out there.
they're flying.
Yeah.
Even last season, you lot came third, but you were untouchable for when you
For
were
a
at
while,
third.
exactly.
No, but even your
Yeah.
final points at
Yeah,
third,
yeah,
yeah.
whoever came fourth and fifth were
was just-
nowhere
yeah.
near.
Yeah. So
So
I
you
feel,
knew at the point where you like, yeah,
I
even if
feel
it's
one of
only 2
these
points,
things. One of
it's
these
definitely
things.
these.
Yeah,
I feel the setup for this season is probably going to be one of the best seasons we've had for a long time in terms
Absolutely.
of
It's a scary
competitiveness.
one.
I'm not
For
gonna
sure.
lie,
It's
it's very
scary.
entertaining.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's
I don't know if my
jarring,
heart
but
will.
it's very
I
Yeah.
don't know if
entertaining.
my heart will hold out,
No,
And it's
don't
not-
know.
and I might die at the end of this season.
I get it though.
Right? I don't know. I don't know. My wife is already saying to me, "You need more than the gym because you're going to be watching Arsenal."
Do you know what as well? It's nice knowing you could win it.
It's true.
Does that make any sense? It's nice, like
Yeah.
for all of us. Let's be honest. Yes, you're at the top, but it's nice knowing
There's
City's
a
not-
chance.
City's not going to take this. You
There's a
can
chance.
win it.
There's a chance.
Do you know what I mean?
Mate, City, now it's like everybody's got on their game, mate. Everybody's on them
I've
and
been
they
saying
know
that.
what. Go on.
I've been
It's a
said that.
beautiful, beautiful feeling still.
So I think on this point, we should be probably checking out
Yeah. Okay. You have been watching
sports, bands, and prosecco without the mighty scene.
Yes.
The one who really wants to talk about Manu and her fucking new manager.
She
And they're still
boycotted today
and they're
because
gonna-
she did.
and remember, I said Manu are the destroyer of dreams and players and managers.
Look at she's whispering into the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even get to speak about the fact that they got a new
Manager.
We'll do it when
No,
she
she,
comes back.
she wants to do that.
literally
That's
wanted to
her
have
shit.
that. That was
Yeah.
her like.
I don't want to talk about them because they're
I
still
already
a bit
told
shit
today.
right now.
I was so glad it was not Manu chat because I'm so tired, Cara. I am so tired.
Even
of
though
Manu
we've been chatting about them
chatting.
losing.
That's
We've been shading the shit out of them.
today.
Ah, we
I
have,
don't even remember.
We have. Generally speaking.
We've shaded them like, whoa.
Today.
Generally speaking.
No,
she's
no,
been
she's not
getting
here,
it.
is she?
Oh, that's what I mean.
No,
So
but
today,
generally
thank
speaking,
God.
she's been getting it.
Thank God we didn't have to today because I am so tired of Man United chat. So yes, but please, guys, do not forget to subscribe, share, like everything. Come on, guys, we need you.
Our
You're
viewership
still
is
shacking up
growing
with
and
us.
We love it.
And
Come
remember,
on.
we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, and we are on YouTube,
YouTube.
and also Instagram, as you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Engage.
Yes.
Thank
Come
you.
on.
Right.